Hi, this is Amish Agarwal. I'm an advocate. I practice law in Delhi, and I wanted to talk about some interesting situations where I have seen that despite having the possibility of getting justice in entirety, I have seen victims screaming and crying that they want the case to be over. They want the guilty accused person to go scot-free so that they can have a little peace of mind. And I see this happen quite often because what I see happening is that a person says, मेरे साथ ये XYZ चीज़ गलत हुई है, I want justice. And they start the process to obtain that justice. And what they realize a couple of weeks, months or years down the line is that this is not what they bargained for. They are getting a deal which is very, very different than what they were hoping. They were hoping that they will file a complaint against this evil person. The authorities will come to their help immediately, and that will be the end of it. The accused person will go to jail and it will be a happily ever after. That, of course, as you can imagine, does not really happen. What happens instead is they set in motion a painstaking, painfully slow judicial process, which on most days is anyways very, very unfair. And even on days when it is fair, you feel the life getting drained out of you, waiting for the day of reckoning to come and for you to get justice. I'll give you some examples of what I've seen happening to victims, and that will shed more light on what exactly I'm trying to convey over here. I remember when I was a high school student several years ago, I remember listening to a very interesting conversation as a lay person, not as a lawyer, and what I heard I found to be very, very interesting. What was happening was that my father, who is also an advocate, someone approached him and asked him whether there is any way that my father could, and this was a very, complete layman who did not know anything about the law, now that I think about it. So this person went up to my father and asked him that there is this particular judge in this particular court. Is there any possibility that my father could call up the judge and ask him to finish off this particular case? So my father asked, what is the case about? And the person explained that his wife's chain, gold chain, was snatched at a temple a couple of years ago, and so they caught him immediately and they filed a complaint. The person was arrested, he was charged for the offense of theft, and the trial was going on. The difficulty was that the defense counsel, as is a widely used tactic, the defense counsel kept calling the wife as a witness again and again and again. And one time the judge would be on leave, and another time there would be some court strike, or the prosecutor would not be available, or the defense counsel would not be available. So 3 or 4 adjournments have already been given and her statements have not been recorded. The wife now is feeling very, very irked, and she is thinking, I am the victim, why do I have to go through so much pain and trouble? And to such an extent that she is trying to find some contacts, in a very, very misplaced attempt though, because they don't understand how these courts function, that they cannot have a judge simply drop the matter. There must be some sort of a mutual petition either before the High Court, or some sort of application for compounding, or some other thing like that which is supposed to happen, before which the case can be dropped against a person. In any case, the plight of the victim, the plight of the witness is what I'm trying to highlight over here. Another similar situation arose for a friend of mine who was beaten black and blue in Bangalore by a couple of ruffians. The requisite sections were registered in the FIR. The case went on. The person flew down from Delhi to Bangalore on multiple occasions, and then again called me up and asked me, भाई कोई तरीका है जिससे ये हम केस ख़त्म हो जाए and we don't need to go to court again and again and again. And I had to again explain to this person now, not a lot of time ago, not several decades ago, maybe a couple of years ago, I had to explain to him that this is not how the process works. In a case of grievous hurt, where the person could be punished with up to 7 years of imprisonment, the consequences are very, very serious, and it would take nothing short of an application for quashing of proceedings or quashing of the charge sheet on the basis of mutual compromise between the parties, and that too which will have to be moved before the High Court of Karnataka at Bangalore. I don't even know if there is a moral to this particular video. I don't know what is a lesson that can be gleaned out of it. It is just perhaps me highlighting another grievance that the common man like you, the viewer, or me, or any of the people sitting in this car might have. And there are a couple of strategies that you can employ to ensure that testimony is recorded, but perhaps that's a video for another day. Today is just me venting out the frustration of the common man. That's about it.